babies when they're grown men, then we're going to lose them. We're going to lose them for one simple reason. They're depending on us for information. They're depending on us to guide them the right way. Well, I know you said, well, ain't nothing wrong with calling them babies. Yes, it is. Because when you call them babies, they're going to act like a baby. All you got to do is study what you say. Study how they act when you say baby. Study, notice how they smile when you say, ain't you my baby? Come give your mama a hug. But you don't see men calling their children babies. You don't see that. So when we take for granted that we are doing all the right things, until they go to jail, get incarcerated, or the police is knocking on our door with a sad face, it's our responsibility to care for our youth because they're looking for us. They're looking for guidance. They just don't want to tell you. You sit down and talk to them and educate them about what to look for. That's how I was brought up. I was brought up in a way that I had to, my mother would always talk to me. Now, the difference between my dad was like the enforcer. Like I tell people, mom put dad in the position of being the enforcer. If you didn't do what you're supposed to do, you already know what time it is. You already know what time it is. And if you did something wrong, my mom would say this, I'm going to tell your daddy when he get home. So go over there and have a seat and get your homework done. Because I'm going to tell Levi, and you know when Levi get here, you're going to get your butt whipped. You already know when she say Levi, it's on and popping. It was on and popping. We all make mistakes. But at the level we are today in seeing our young people dying, it ain't a movie. You can't rewind this. We can't rewind when we lose a child to gun violence. We can't rewind the movie when it's dealing with bullying that make a child want to commit suicide. That's why it's important to understand words have power. Words have power. Until we sit down and really think about it, look around you. Who's in the news? Who's in the news every day? We are. We as a whole. One of your neighbors or cousins or relatives in the news. Brother or sister in the news. And then what we tell them when the man put the mugshot on TV. As the old saying, I'm old school, so I'm always saying old sayings. You can run, but you can't hide. At some point, they gonna find you. It's no different between now and in slavery. If you ran away, they had people to go track you. You can't beat the system. You got millions of people that's gonna find you. Why live a life of pain and suffering to hurt someone else? As the scripture said, we all fall short of grace. I love children. I love talking to them. I love to see them laugh and smile because they don't know the real world. So what we do, we release them to the real world. We tell them they still babies, but go and do what you got to do. Anybody bother you, come home and tell me. I'm gonna take care of it. Then what happens? You wind up going to jail. Teacher calls you, try to explain to you your child is acting up in class. Now you want to fight the teacher till he get put out of school. And then what happens? While you at work, he doing, they are doing all sorts of things with no supervision. Not everyone is the same, but without the right supervision, as they say, it's in the book. It was written way before I was born and you. Our idle mind is the devil's workshop. I didn't come to preach. I just come to let you know maybe sometimes picking up that book and sitting down with your child and reading and letting their mind grow and develop in the right way. So when they're out there on their own, out there with others, they'll make right choices. Don't sell our young people short. Don't think that, hey, they can't comprehend what's around them. We have to stop letting the outside forces in this world dictate the life of our children. And I'm not saying my kids, they never do anything wrong. But I tell you this, you can ask them. If they did, they got punishment. I may not whip them like I got whipped, or as they call it back in the day. My dad go out there in the woods, come back with a couple of switches, or get these these trees. You go and get these special trees, or trees are just growing out the ground. They're real skinny. You can go out there and break that off, take the skin of it off and let it dry. Whoa, boy, you in trouble, baby. My punishment with my kids were I would make them hold out their hand, and I would take my belt and give them 5 to 10 licks in their hand, depending on what they'd done. And if they drew their hand back, then I would give them an extra 5 licks or extra 10 till they get the understanding is what you did was wrong. And they might thought, hey, this I ain't going through, this is going to hurt me more than it hurt you. But it did, because I don't like to see nobody in pain, especially my children. Everybody's bad. I gotta do the bad thing. I gotta act like, oh, it ain't bothering me. Why? Because that's sympathy if you don't show them. Because the world's going to show them something that nobody can take back. That's why it's the pipeline to prison. We can't change it. We have to instill in our young people. We have to instill in our young people. This is what is being done to change our future. We have to do more. We have to make sure that our young people are able and capable of understanding that we can't afford to lose them. We can't afford to lose our young people, because when we do, it's too late when they're in the prison system. Ain't nothing in the world more precious than a child. working hard to make sure my family and children in the community could be happy was the only thing I know. That's why I work and do what I do today, to let them be aware that love is the most important thing. And I've been doing this all my life. It ain't something I just did yesterday or something I just started. I've been doing it all my life because children don't ask to be born. They ask to be loved. Show them real love. Discipline is real love. Discipline is real love. Let them know that, hey, you can't go to the school and disobey the teacher. You can't go to school and talk back at the teacher. She used to sit in the same chair you used to sit in. And if you listen and obey the teachers, you can sit in the chair that she's sitting in when you get older. It's all the choices that you make. What's your dream? Find out what they dream about. Find out what they want to be and help them. Everybody not going to be a famous rapper. Let's get that straight right now. Because if it was, I'd have been a rapper a long time ago. Hip, hip, the hippity hop, hop, the hippity hippity. Okay. Now you see why I don't do rap. I do a lot of talking. Sometimes I make sense and sometimes I may not. But it depends on who's listening. All I'm saying is, my God let me live to get 71 years old. And if I live to July, I'll be 72. It's in your book. The book says a man is guaranteed by God's word to live to get 70 years old. That's in the scripture. I didn't make it up. I didn't go searching for it, but it's in there. If you live beyond 70, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. But when God got work for you to do and you ignoring it, and you keep like, I don't go to church. That's indoctrination. Well, what you doing now? Ain't you watching this video? Don't you watch videos on Facebook? That's indoctrination. That's why you watch it. Because it excites you. Your curiosity. Here's the cat. Everybody's fighting for likes. Everybody's fighting for attention. I'm on Facebook probably longer than anybody up here. More hours. That's why you see me reposting other people's videos, because to broaden the conversation, try to do positive things. But there's a lot of negative stuff on the internet. I'm just telling you, a lot of negative stuff. I try to block it. Facebook don't even block it. But if you talking about good things, oh, they block you quick. I just got to notice I'm blocked for the day. I'm just telling you how they do. I'm blocked. I can't send out no more Facebook messages. That's why I'm on different pages. That's why I'm on YouTube. Why they blocked me on one, I got 4 or 5 other outlets, because Facebook is just a corrupt way of trying to make the masses believing they're doing good things. And I was on Facebook when it started. The things I was doing is before Facebook was even doing it, playing music videos and all that. I was doing that before they got the right to do it. And then they try to tell me they were going to ban me because they might get sued, when I got licensed with BMI, AppScot, SoundScan. Those are the 3 that gives you permission to run any type of music or videos back in the day. As long as you got those licenses, you pay that those license fees, nobody can stop you. People don't know it's so much stuff you can do without them trying to ban you. Their platform, and they couldn't have the platform if it wasn't for taxpayers' dollars. Hello. That's why you had Al Gore come on and said, I invented the internet. The internet was invented for the military when they was doing the war. I think it was the Gulf War. That's how the United States communicated with the military in the fields. And that's why they always giving free internet, because your tax dollars paid for the creation of it. Once they broke it up, they licensed it to companies. And that's why you have Google, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those is because of your tax dollars paid for it. And they started coming around charging you $100 or $200 a month. And that's why it's low now, because they know they use your tax dollars. You got to educate yourself. See, when I start talking too much, I get in trouble because I sit and I'm so quiet, but they don't know I read a lot. I research a lot. You don't have to be in college to do research. My research extended before I went to college. That's why I tell people I was always on the internet when AOL, America Online, was the first internet connection. Ted Turner, know your history. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm just a person that care about humanity, caring about my friends and my neighbors, caring about strangers that I don't even know. Like I keep telling people, I've been in rooms that most people can't even get in. I've been in rooms where most people is not privileged to be in. I didn't sit down to the table, as they say on the street term, and break bread with people of millionaire status. But ask me that I take their money. No. Because if I did, they would control me. They mad because they can't control me. I'm the only person that ran a nightclub or played in a nightclub and get arrested. All you got to do is do your research. I make history. And I ain't done nothing wrong. But other than use the talents and gifts that God gave me. I'm an entertainer. I'm one of the only DJs in this area. No DJ, radio or street, has entertained more people than me. No one. But people say, well, hey, that you ain't the only one that did a DJ. No, I'm one of the only ones that played or consulted people that was going out of business. And I went in and turned their business around. Or open up clubs. See, I opened up Picasso's. I didn't own it. I opened it. I wrote the letter to get it open to the owners of the shopping center. That's how it came about. Mr. Magic, I brought in one of my friends to help them get their liquor license after they sat there for 3 months with no liquor license. But then I got fired. I keep trying to tell people, you don't know my story because you only know the story that they tell you. It's not about me. We all got a story. That's why they putting the pipeline of prisoners in play. That's why it's 3 generations of black men in jail right today. You got more black and brown men in prison than any other race. So when we sit around here and pretend, when you take people money, you see what's in the news. You see what's happening in the news. There's enough black people in the United States. It's enough black people that work and live in a community. You can make a millionaire every day, and you don't even try. You can make a millionaire every day, 365 millionaires a year, if you just supported them. If you just support them. It ain't no rocket scientist stuff. They figured all that out right after slavery, when they start studying the black church. And they saw, how do these people open up these businesses? How did they open up the bank? How did they start their own airports? How did they start their own bus lines? They got their own cab system. Don't you know it ain't about race? It's about the almighty dollar, son. It's about the almighty dollar. You control wealth, and you don't even spend it with your own people. You get $1. Let's break it down. Only 8 to 12 cents. Maybe today it might be 18 to 22 cents. And you still got 76 or 77 cents left out of $1 that goes to other communities. And you don't even understand it. Why? Because you're too busy worrying about how we going to pay the bills. How we going to do this? Working 2 and 3 jobs. I used to work 3 jobs when my kids were growing up. 3 a day for over 5 years or more. I worked at the radio station doing gospel at WZAM, AM 1110. It's no longer around. I was the manager and DJ at Club Royal Blue, 1872 East Little Creek Road. Then after they closed that, I went to open up Mr. Magic. Then I helped them get their liquor license. After I did that, I got fired. Then I helped a couple other people to build nights. And then when I built the night, they took it away from me. Then when Barry Davis, that owned the Heartbreak Cafe, asked me to come there and play. I played there 8 years to mostly a white audience. 5 nights was, 5 nights a week. 5 nights a week. Then when the opportunity came for Picasso's, I told him about the building being closed, and he said, hey, I'll look into it. And he said, I don't think the man is going to let me get that in the shopping center because they done had too much trouble with the other 4 to 5 clubs that were open. I said, well, all you got to do is do this. He said, well, write it up and let Debbie, his secretary, type it up and send it over to him. I told him what we could do, and this is how we would do it. And that's how we got Picasso's open in that shopping center. Everybody think they know the history. People are mad with me because their opinion of how they do business is not the right way. I do business only one way you can do anything is to learn how to do it right. God is going to bless you. See, the spirituality of life is God is going to direct your footsteps. When you step beyond what God's will is, it all is going to come tumbling down. I'm only going to do what's right because it's never about making money. It's about where people can go and feel safe and have a good time, enjoy each other's company for 4 hours, because after that 4 hours up, they go back into the real world. See, a club is your illusion, but the real world is when you leave and you're stuck paying those bills the next day or the next week, wondering, will you be able to afford to come out another night? When you walk in the club and ain't nobody laughing, and people ain't laughing and got a smile on their face, that's when you leave. because it's not energy, it's negative content. I'm a spiritual person. I feel energy. I feel the energy of the people in the building. Why do you think I last so long? Like I tell people, in 2010, I made a decision to go get my GED and go to college. That was in 2009. When I got my GED was 2010, and I entered college to 2017. I said, I'm not doing anything in a club. And even then I want to go back, but it's too much violence. It takes a lot of energy to overcome negativity. But we need to build. You can't solve problems if you don't have money. I try to do what I can with the money that I get, and it's very little. So I try to create other avenues to bring in revenue and to help people along the way. It's not just about me, it's about our community. The things I used to do, I was only getting from the city, that I'm bribing people. He's bribing people. What? Have a place where kids can go and have fun? I used to work along with Soul Ranger. When he came to me and asked me would I work with him, I studied what he was doing. By studying what he was doing, I said, I'll work with you. Because when I came in contact with the young people, they were so excited. They had somewhere to go. Ask yourself, where do young people go? What place do they go for fun? You took away the fun, that creates chaos. You took away their fun, you took away the supervision. Because we had parents that would come to teen dances as chaperones, as monitors. But what happens? You took away their fun. So they said, well, you take away my fun, let me create my own fun. All you got to do is count the years when all the violence occurred. It began in the late 80s. By the 90s, the music changed. You got gangster rap music, lyrics that don't seem to be too familiar with your surroundings. You turn on the radio today, you live in the life of other people in other states. You rarely heard anything about your community. Oh, yeah. You don't study because you don't know. We live in Viva la Loca. We live in somebody else's life. When we got the best talent in the world right here in the 757. You say, where, what music that we got? I'm just gonna put up a couple of pictures so you'll know. This young man is named Danze. Today I'll be playing this song in the 3 and 4 o'clock hour. Danze. That's the name. That's his name. He's a very gifted man. He's very gifted. The title of the song I'll be playing is Only I Can Be Me. I want you to tune in to WVDM. WVDM. It's on my Facebook pages. 3 o'clock, I go live. It's called Frequency Distribution. Why do you call it frequency distribution? It's changing the frequency of what young people listen to in this area in any other state or country. Why we got to shoot them up, bang, bang them all day? What? Why do you hear gunshots in music? What? Why do you hear people disrespecting each other? What? That's a frequency. Because words have power. The last person that spoke, they were going to change the frequency. It's now being chased by the feds. They try to make you believe in something else. Why come it took last year when he did the Billboard Awards? He came up, I'm back, baby. P. Diddy is back. I like making love to music. And I'm bringing back R&B. What? Who told you you could do that? The enemy is real. The enemy is real. When we try to help our people, they're going to block you. Because that's what programming is. You come up with a program, they tell you that only thing you're trying to do is make money. And just imagine somebody that's working for the city telling a taxpayer he's only wants to make money. Whereas my tax dollars that pay your salary, son. You can't stop me from doing anything. Only God can do that. Only God. Until we understand that, our children will continue to perish. I don't believe in religion. I don't believe in that. I'm a Muslim. I'm a Baptist. I'm a Christian. I'm a Pentecostal. I'm a holiness. I don't care what you is, but you're using that book. Why are you using the book? Why are you using scripture? Because it's the written word of God. It's not just in a book, it's in you. That's why the enemy tries to destroy you. You thought he was destroying you just because you were black, just because you was white, just because you Italian, or you a Jew, or you a German. We got so many nationalities on this planet, and everybody's dying. But you can't destroy the planet. You can destroy mankind. You can even destroy some of the animals, plants, but you can't destroy something that you didn't make. Before that happened, God's going to clear the whole planet of everybody, every living thing, and it will start all over again with no help from man. God is just sending you warnings. He's sending warnings, but we ain't listening. I'm a man. I got millions and billions and trillions. Yeah, we see what your millions and billions has brought. Death unmanageable. But you ain't going to beat God. What we can do is educate our young people. We have to educate our young people. This year, every young person should be registered to vote today. At 17, they should be registering to vote. We can't sit around and pretend. This can be the most historical election has ever been. I don't care what race you are, who you decide to vote for. There's two parties running, Democrats and Republicans. You might have another party representing, but it's up to you to make the choice. You have free will. That's what God gave you, free will. That's why we get into the things we get into. Nobody can tell us anything. They can say what they want, but they can't make us do it. We got free will. but there's a price. You pay the cost to be the boss, good or bad. You pay the cost to be the boss. What you make in this world, you can't take it with you. You ain't taking nothing with you. It's going to be here. Our ancestors have shown that. And they still digging now, uncovering things under the earth, but they got another 30 more years just in the pyramids in Gaza. We take for granted that life is the way it is. Whether or not we can register young people, it should be on your list to take them to DMV or down to City Hall and register them to vote. Who they vote for, educate them. Let them know about what party's going to do this, what party's going to do that. Because at the end of the day, when it's time to vote, it's their choice. Give them the power they need, the power of understanding, the power of making right choices. I voted for Republicans just like I vote for Democrats, and I am a registered Democrat. Some will do what they say they're going to do, and some say it just to get your vote, get in office. Oh, yeah, I'm still working on it. Well, you got 2 to 4 years to do it, because I'm going to work the next 2 years of making sure you don't get reelected. And I have done that. But I didn't do it by myself. I did it for viewers or people like you that might be watching, that might heard something that I said that sparked your interest, and you start doing some research on the people that hold office are put in office, and when they get there, they give you lip service. But no person can do it alone, especially when it's local. City council is who make the decisions on everything in the 757, the 7 cities. When you go down to city council and listen to them or watch it on the internet after city council and look at it and see what the people are doing on city council. If you've never been to city council, you should go sometimes. When the other community come down there, they got a whole section with people supporting what they think the city should be. You go to other cities, when the minority of the people that's running the city, they argue, doing the same thing, getting the same results year after year, and then want to run around and pat themselves on the back for little things. But the community is dying. Young people incarcerated. Young kids afraid to go to school, become dropouts. We have to do more than do lip service. I'm only one person, but I keep working and trying to bring information for conversation to the viewers of Frequency Distribution, Let's Get Praised Music Ministry, and GA for Justice for Georgia Allen, who comes on every Thursday with conversation so that you can learn what's going on in Virginia Beach. I try to bring other people from other cities to do the same. Nobody falls short of being in the garden. Say, well, I'm brought up being in the garden. No, not the Garden of Eden, the garden to which we had to grow our own food on Portsmouth, in Portsmouth on Chestnut. And when I was living there was Portsmouth Gospel Road, and then they changed it to Portsmouth Boulevard. I stayed right there on the corner in a 6 or 7 room house my mom and them rented, right in front of the commissary. We have to understand, when you have your own garden, you feed yourself. My dad was out of work for 7 years. So most 7 years we had to grow our own food until I moved to Effingham Street, right across from where the railroad tracks is, back to where I was born at, across the street. And now I'm on the other side of the street, Randolph and Effingham Street. But where I was born at was where Washington Park was. It was called Billy Goat Alley. Billy Goat Alley. Y'all won't know that because it was torn down before a lot of y'all was born. And if you're old enough, every now and then somebody might mention it. But voting is the only power our young people have to their advantage. They can make changes locally because it all starts locally when it comes to voting. We vote for the president every 4 years, but we vote every 2 years for city council. Richmond. Know where your strength is. It starts at home. Because Washington don't know what's going on in Portsmouth. Washington don't know what's going on in Norfolk. Till they come through, it's time to vote. Or delegates go up there and talk to Congress. But it starts in Richmond. We have a lot to teach our young people. But a gun is not one. A gun is not one. We're losing our future generation to guns. And if you like, I'll leave that up there for a moment. You can scan that. You can scan that right there and download WVDM radio app and listen to local artists. We play more local artists than anybody. And people can say, well, no, you don't. We play this. Okay, well, I don't know about your radio station. I know about mine. Because I go searching for the people I play. I listen to what they're saying. Is it going to bring a positive message to our young people, to our future generation? And you can also at 4:35 every day, Monday through Fridays, I play the BT Express, giving you about 20 minutes of music for young people. You say, what music? There's a lot of music. Our young people don't have to listen to shoot them up and bang, bang them, rob and steal, and sell drugs and take drugs. You got positive music out there from rap to R&B, children music. I play some old music because they know that because it's in their DNA. Because when they was babies, that's what their parents was listening to. Frequencies, even to the unborn, is being recognized. That's why you're told you should talk to your kids while they're in the womb. So when they come out, they will know your voice. They will know the voice. They will know when you touch the mother's stomach where she was carrying a baby for 9 months. They will know your touch. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to do. That's what we should be doing. It don't take a rocket scientist to do what we do. It takes a human to see what you do and see it through. Because if everybody could do it, then everybody would be. God give us all a task to do, but we are the ones that have to make it through here on earth. Just like he sent his only begotten son into the world so that you and I could have a chance for everlasting life. Well, it's getting close to that hour. Join me at 3 o'clock, 3 to 5 on frequency distribution. Go to your app store and type in WVDM. WV as in victory, D as in done, and M as in Merle. And VDM. WVDM. And you can download it to any electronic outlet. It's 24 hours a day. I'm on at least 3 hours a day. That's 15 hours a week. And then I come back and do the talk shows for another 3 hours. That's close to 20 hours of volunteer work that I do for the community, for you, for your kids, for the future generation. It's not about me. It's really what God has sent me to do. See you at 3 o'clock. If you got a request, text me at Facebook Messenger, and I'll get it in, my friend. I will get it in. Until